Welcome back. KF3 is the official MSA British Junior Karting Championship class, and this year features Billy Munger, who, as Alan pointed out earlier, is already a two-time Super 1 champion in both Honda Cadet and Super Cadet. But the move to KF3 is often fraught with difficulty, and earlier I asked Billy about his experiences in the class so far. 2 years ago you won the Honda Cadet Championship, last year you won the Super Cadet Championship, and now you've moved up to KF3 for this year. And Alan was saying earlier it's quite a bit more difficult on your body, and you're still quite small, you haven't grown that much over the winter. How are you finding it? Are you struggling?
It's quite a big step up, but I've been training, getting ready over the winter preparation, and I think that it's been going well with the season so far. Done a few European meetings, and yeah, it's been going all right.
And looking now the rest of the season, where do you think you'll come in the championship?
Well, at the minute we're struggling in the rain, but the driver we've got some good pace, so I think it depends on how the weather occurs over the season. So I think aim for a top 5, good finish.
Well, we'll see. I've got a feeling that Billy's going to struggle this season just purely on his size. These karts are difficult to handle, much more power than the cadet karts and even the Super Cadet karts he's used to. You may have just noticed there my tip for the championship. George Russell is on pole, had a great day so far. And Alex Gill, former British cadet champion, on P3. Now Alex is an example of somebody that came out of the cadet classes still quite small in stature and struggled with this class when he first came into it 2 years ago. Finished 8th in the championship last year though, and will be a contender this time round. Not sure he'll be able to beat George Russell, but should be a contender. There is Alex Gill on the 8 kart. We're on board here with Bradley Shaw racing the 12 kart, and already George Russell has pulled 5 or 6 kart lengths. He's come right-handed here down the hill towards Surtees hairpin. So nice start for George Russell here. He's already got himself a nice comfortable lead. The 12 kart, Bradley Shaw in 3rd place there. Kart stream up through Surtees hairpin for the first time. Used to be a lot more contact through that hairpin than there is now since the extension's been built. See 35 though, Jessica Hawkins was caught out. Warning flag for kart 12. Now there's Bradley Shaw, the onboard cameraman, not seeing what that's for. It, by definition, has to have been some sort of contact with Alex Gill, I think. Gill was 2nd, Shaw was 3rd. Shaw is now 2nd, Gill dropped back to 3rd, so must have been a bit of contact between them. There's Shaw, Gill in 3rd place. Nathan Aston, the 9 kart, in 4th, and the O-plate James Kellett, new British Open champion in this class, they're in 5th. They're on board here again with Bradley Shaw. That's the lead that George Russell has to come onto the new section of track. That's a comfortable lead at this stage, early doors. He has been dominating though, George Russell, in this class this weekend. As they come down the hill towards a hairpin, see George Russell with his hand down there towards the engine. He's adjusting the mixture on the carburettor, it looks like. You'll see them put the hands down over the airbox. That will choke the engine, put more fuel in it, cool it down. The 30 kart makes up a place. That was Arjun Maini from India. 3 Indian drivers in this one. Arjun Maini 30 kart, 31's Taran Reddy, and Johan Daruvala on the 32 kart. All drivers from India. A truly international series this. We've got a Swedish driver as well, Felix Nilsson, on the 20 kart. He's not actually here this weekend, but expect to see him sometime during the season as Russell leads it, the 7 kart. Kart 44 gets a warning flag. It's Owen Griffiths. He was in the Super Cadet last year. Has made the move to KF3 this season. He's down the field, Owen Griffiths on the 44 kart. Not sure what's happened, not seen it out of the shot of the cameras, but obviously been in it and getting a warning flag for that as he went across the start-finish line. That's time. It's Russell from Shaw. Alex Gill makes a move for 2nd, and going with him is Nathan Aston. So it drops Shaw back a couple, back on board with Shaw here. So Aston here on the Signs kart in 3rd place, and Alex Gill back into 2nd. Alex Gill is quite an interesting character. I was saying earlier about Billy Munger being still quite small. I think he'll struggle in these karts this year. Alex Gill is an example. He was a British Cadet champion and came straight out of cadets into KF3 and really struggled in his first season. Not because he's not talented, he's got talent in abundance, but was just quite small in stature. And these karts are, as I've said before, animals to handle, very sticky tyres. He struggled the first season, came to it last season, finished 8th. That's why he's wearing the 8 plate on his kart here in 2nd place. So a much better season last year, but this year much stronger physically, and expect him to really compete for the championship, although I think George Russell will have too much for anyone, as we see James Kellett through to what's that, 4th place, and drops Bradley Shaw back one. Tom Harvey was another example, Super 1 cadet champion, and then went into KF3 the following season last year, and it was all too much, I think, for him. Again, fairly slight in stature when he came in, and these karts do take some physical handling. But Alex Gill, much bigger now, and that talent all too clear to see. On board here with Shaw, another talented driver, looking down the inside of James Kellett. Kellett's taken to this really well, obviously won the British Open Championship, and is now the British Open champion. That's a one weekend event, loses a place there to Shaw though, as Shaw goes by. Shaw in danger of losing a place to the 29 car of Josh Price as he goes through the turn. And all that battling has cost them track position. We've now got a fair distance, 10 or 12 kart lengths to make up on Nathan Aston in front. Price has dropped into 5th place, trying to make that 4th, does so up the inside of Bradley Shaw. So Price through to 4th place. Shaw now having to defend from Kellett. Kellett's dropped back to 6th. They come through the Fullerton S's one more time. Back on board here with Shaw. Josh Price, the 29 kart, Josh from Redbourne. These on-board shots give you a good indication of how fast these junior karts are. They will do around 70 miles an hour in a straight line. Later in the race, it's still Russell out front, but Alex Gill here is closing him down. Nathan Aston still in the mix as well. In comes Price. In behind Price is Kellett. In behind Kellett is Bradley Shaw. Back on board here with Shaw. And just in behind Bradley Shaw is the 27 card of Martin Kodrich, I think it is. Kodrich, there he is. So right in the mix, Martin. Started on P2 though, so he's dropped down the field at the start and making his way back into contention now. So it looks like he could be a player for the rest of the season. Certainly got the pace. He is the fastest man on the track, I can tell you. He's actually matching the time of the leader, George Russell. But Russell with track position, obviously. Still on board here with Bradley Shaw. Up onto this new section of circuit. Up the inside, has he made that stick? Looks like he has. Makes up a place. Nice move. Here's the move for the lead, and that is Alex Gill on George Russell. So Gill's got the lead. Russell tries to get him back. Oh, near contact between them. Russell has to back out of it. Runs the curb. Has a look over his shoulder. He's clear of the karts behind, so he doesn't have to worry about this man, Nathan Aston. He's just got to try and put the move on Alex Gill for the lead. Hasn't got to concern himself too much about the karts behind, George Russell. Just think about moving forward. Back on board here with Bradley Shaw. This is how fast these karts are down the straight. Warning over the start-finish line there for kart 11. Right and left-handed through to the new section. Kart 11 is Darius Carberley, not seeing what he's been involved with, but getting a warning flag anyway. He's currently in the mid-pack. George Russell was the Minimax champion a couple of seasons ago in Super 1. Brother, as I said earlier, is a former world champion in 2007 in the Rotax classes, runs the Intrepid team now, hence why George switched from Strawberry Racing to the Intrepid team, which is run by his brother. So good family connections there. And here's the fastest lap by Martin Kodrich at 57.44. Russell gets closer to Gill. So Gill not having it all his own way. He's come from a way back and got the lead, but it's one thing to catch and pass someone, it's another thing to hold on to it, and here comes Russell for that lead spot. So Russell sweeps back into the lead. Shaw is well behind the man in 3rd place, that's Nathan Aston. Aston having the track all to himself, nobody to play with, unfortunately. Wow, that was close. Yellow flags were waving there. Now yellow flags mean slow down and be prepared to stop. And if you remember years ago, how long was it now, 5-6 years ago in Formula 1, where a certain driver came round the corner, there was a car had crashed in front in wet conditions, there was a tyre right in the middle of the track. Did he slow down? No. Was he prepared to stop? No. Smashed into the tyre. What happened? He was given no penalty whatsoever. I would have given him a 3-race ban for that. And these kids watch Formula 1 all the time, and they see that the drivers don't slow down, never prepared to stop, and so their view is, why should we bother if they don't? It's Russell that takes the win from Alex Gill in second, Nathan Aston clear in third place. Kodrich comes through for fourth. Good drive by him. In fifth place it was Bradley Shaw, as you'll see here from the official results. Kellett, the O-Plate British Open champion, finishes in sixth from Josh Price. Jacques Morley through to eighth from Alex Taylor, and Rory Cuff rounding out the top 10. Never saw the latter three at any stage, but well done to them.
When they started battling towards the end, I started catching up a little bit. I was hoping they'd battle a little bit more, so maybe I could get higher up on the podium. But I'm happy I'm on the podium at the end of the day. Could I just thank the team, Millennium Motorsport, my mechanic Joe, my sponsors Ash Signs, and Eddie Stobbart.
Alex, so close to a victory there, but finished second. Talk us through the race.
Yeah, it was a pretty good race. Started in the middle of the pack, so got an alright start, but then I was in second. George had a big gap. Didn't think I'd be able to catch him, but I caught him up, overtook him. He overtook me back, which is pretty clean racing, so I'm happy with second. It's not too bad.
George, that looked like it was going to be a comfortable win, but then had to battle with Alex in the last few laps. How does it feel to have won the first round?
Feels very good. Feels very good to win the first round, as it's been a very difficult weekend. Been a lot of changes in the weather. I don't think there's been one race where it's been exactly the same conditions, so it feels very good.
Well, that's it from us here at PF International in Lincolnshire. Next week we're at Wilton Mill in Northamptonshire. Join us then.